Tonight, I'm going to search for one of the largest millipedes in North America, the American Giant Millipede. This is an amazing invertebrate, and luckily for me, I won't have to go too far to catch one. They're very common in my area. I'm going to take a walk on my street, and hopefully we'll catch one of these giant millipedes. This millipede can sometimes grow to over 5 inches long. Its length and stocky armored form has earned it the nickname Iron Worm. Now, these millipedes are very secretive creatures. They hide during the day, but they do come out at night to forage. So if we look in the right spots, we should find one. There's a large population of giant millipedes here, but they're secretive creatures and very good at hiding. They especially like to live in the crevices and cavities of trees, so that's where I'll concentrate my search. So this is perfect habitat. These trees are full of cracks and gaps where these millipedes can hide during the day. I'm sure there's got to be quite a few hanging around. All right, look at this. I see one climbing up the base of this tree. It's a good-sized specimen, too. That is an American Giant Millipede. Look at this creature. This is so cool. It's one of the strangest creatures you can find in my area. I'm going to try and get him onto my hand. They're not very fast, but they do secrete a poison if you disturb them too much. I would like for that not to happen. Look at that. That is so cool. Well, this right here is pretty awesome. We found a very large specimen of the American Giant Millipede. What a... Oh, look at that. He's rearing up. He's trying to find something to grasp. You know, these creatures are basically blind. They navigate using those 2 little antennae on their head. That's how they're picking up all kinds of cues about the world. They use their vision very, very little. Now, locally, these are sometimes called thousand-leggers, and they don't actually have 1,000 legs. However, they have a ton of legs, and the way that they move actually reflects that. They have so many feet that they could actually trip over them if they don't move them correctly. So they move in this really, really cool wave-like locomotion where a wave of legs begins at one end of the body and then travels up, and that propels it forward like a little train or something. This method of walking is called a metachronal gait. This strange, wave-like method of moving allows a millipede to control all of its legs and move with maximum efficiency. Handling him is pretty strange because I can feel every single leg kind of poking into my skin, and as you walk, it's a really weird sensation, but pretty cool. When it comes to their diet, giant millipedes are herbivores, grazing on decaying leaves, rotting wood, and fungi. Because of this, they play a very important role in the natural world. Since they feed on decaying material, they become living recyclers, eating food, digesting it, and turning it into soil. This fertilizes the ground and keeps the surrounding ecosystem healthy. But even though giant millipedes are peaceful herbivores, they aren't totally harmless. If attacked by a predator, they have a secret weapon to fight back with. This millipede is poisonous. Now, as long as I don't really mess with him too much, he won't deploy that toxic defense mechanism. If I were to poke and prod him, he would start to secrete this yellow-brown liquid from his body, and that is his poison. The liquid that oozes from this creature's body is filled with a chemical called benzoquinine. This compound helps repel predators, but it can also have a very strange effect on human skin. It makes these creatures extremely distasteful to predators, and also can sting. If you get it on your skin, like your arm, it doesn't hurt. It leaves behind this weird mark. It actually is called millipede burn. It's the official name for it. And it takes sometimes 2 or 3 weeks to go away. It's a very, very strange phenomenon. However, if you get that liquid in a more vulnerable part of your body, like near your eyes, in your mouth, then you could really feel some stinging pain. And actually, I speak from experience on that. When I was very young, I picked up one of these millipedes thinking it was really cool, and I didn't realize they were toxic. So I unknowingly got some of that liquid on my hands, and I must have rubbed near my eye, and I got it not in the eye, but very, very close. And it stung. It was painful. I had to take a glass of water and flush it out. And that taught me to always be respectful of these millipedes. They look very harmless, and they're not aggressive or anything like that, but they do have a pretty good defense mechanism. The American Giant Millipede seems almost alien, like it doesn't belong in our world, and certainly not in the woods near my house. It's truly a bizarre creature, and one of the most interesting invertebrates I've ever encountered. When you explore nature at night, you can find some truly strange things. So there's plenty of cool stuff during the day, but the weirdest creatures come out at night. Now, wherever you are, I'm sure there are creatures like this living alongside you. Maybe the American Giant Millipede, or other animals that are equally as strange. So be sure to get out and explore. You never know what you might find.